So journal databases are what we call scholarly. This means that they have been, excuse me, vetted from various scholars, people with credentials, experts in the fields, PhDs, doctors, writers, researchers from universities, so on and so on. And they have been published in what's called a journal. Now, this is not the same thing, as a journal that you would use in a composition class that, is informal, in class, free writing. Our discussion board is a form of a journal, an electronic journal. We're talking about what's known as discipline-specific journals. These are scholarly, published journals from different disciplines, and every discipline that you can think of has their own sort of field journal. For example, in medicine, there are scholarly journals that are published in the field of medicine, psychology, sociology, English, so on and so on. The list is endless. And so what we learned in part 1 of this module, module 2 in unit 3, is how to use the web. I'm not against using the web to find some sources, okay? In fact, in Comp 1, this is something that I encourage, that you learn how to use the web to find sources, to find good sources. But the truth is, using the web is much harder than using a library database, a school database that has journals. And the reason why, and I'll show you here in a minute, is because it's more difficult to find good, reliable sources, as maybe you found through some of the exercises we've done in part 1 and in the previous module. It can be difficult to find good, reliable sources through the web. Well, in scholarly journals, they've already been vetted or processed for you. So a journal has only good resources, and it can be specific to the field or discipline that you're looking for. So while it might be scary because it's new and most of us may not be comfortable using a library database, once you learn how to access it and use it properly, it's super easy and much easier than using the web, okay? So this image just kind of shows you the difference between scholarly and popular. Popular can be, it doesn't have to be just web. People Magazine, or Entertainment Weekly, even certain news sources like CNN could be considered more popular than scholarly in many ways. And TMZ.com, you'll see that there's in the student sample here in this part 2 of module 2, the student used TMZ.com, which is fine, but it's a popular source. It's not a scholarly source, okay? So these are just kind of giving you compare and contrast between the two, and why scholarly is usually much better than a popular source. So you can review that on your own time. And here I just kind of want to take you through, I've provided these links to our Pulaski Technical College library databases. Okay, now again, although this is not required, you're going to find better sources here, so I suggest that you go ahead and practice using them. Comp 1 is a safe place to make mistakes and practice and learn, so I just want to encourage you all to give it a try, because it'll be much more helpful, especially later on in your more academic-oriented courses. So you see here in my directions, see this link here, and I'll go ahead and open it, and it takes us directly to our Pulaski Tech website, UA PTC Libraries. And you want to choose databases A to Z. Okay, and a very, very awesome resource that you want to use for this assignment especially is something called Opposing Viewpoints. This is a journal. If you click O, it'll take you to Opposing Viewpoints in Context. That's just the full name of the site. It's actually Opposing Viewpoints, or the journal database, sorry. It's not a website. And so you click this, you will have to use your portal credentials, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and use mine. And let it spin for a little bit and take me there. You will use yours just like I used mine. It's the same thing that you're using to sign in to Blackboard, okay? It'll take you here. Now this looks like a website, Okay, this is a search engine. So just like you would use Google, to search for a web source, which is what is our first inclination, you'd use this search engine the same way. Let's say that I wanted to write about plastic surgery. So first off, notice, and I'll just click this out, it's a pop-up, or you could say no thanks. First off, notice when I place plastic surgery in here, it already gives me different things I could look for. So if you have already narrowed down your topic into a researchable question or created a prompt, you could maybe find that there or type it in here and let it go. But I'm just going to stay with the general for now. Okay, and it takes me to different articles that sort of are promoting a certain viewpoint. Now, this is the same as what you would do through the web, except these have already been vetted. They are reliable, they are more up to date, and it's not just some random person on the internet. These are scholars in your field. So you could click on this and it'll take you to the article and you can see more about it and read more about it, so on and so on. So I wanted to make this video to show you that it can be easy. It's not necessarily hard. And then this other one is I'm attempting to take you directly to opposing viewpoints, but again, you would have to sign in. So it's no different from the link that I gave you. Okay. Anyway, so down here there are student examples of creating a list of sources. Okay. Now this is not, you may have heard of a works cited page. This is not exactly that, although it does lend itself to become a works cited page. We're not requiring a works cited page in this assignment, okay? But this is just a list of sources you're going to create. Remember, you're going to need at least 3, okay? So it's just to help you keep up with. And then this here, your short description of the source and explanation for why you're using it. This is called an annotation. And an annotation is just simply helping you to be critical about your source so you know why you're using it. And it also tells your instructor or your audience, whoever is reading your work, why the source was chosen, what purpose it's going to be serving, okay? So here you have the format that is correct for listing your source, okay, and then the student sample, all right? So each of these, the highlights and the bolding, that's me showing you the format, the correct what you're supposed to have, and then this is the actual student entry, okay? So when you're ready, just like in the other units, you'll just click there to access the assignment, the list of your sources, and then just enter it just like that, number 1, and then that formatting for the source itself, and then your short description and explanation for why you're using it. Okay, again, don't let yourself get overwhelmed with it. Just give it a try. I am okay if you only use web sources. Just make sure that you have vetted them and made sure that they were good, reliable sources. But I, again, just want to encourage you to use the Opposing Viewpoints journal from the PTC Library Database. Let me know if you have any questions about this. Okay.